In this video, we're going to discuss some essential practices when self-dispatching. My name is Michael, and let's talk about your future success at solo trucking. We're going to talk about three key principles to success when you're self-dispatching in general and success with solo trucking. So let's go through these together. Number one, always have at least 2 loads booked. Number two, always start calling on loads 2 days in advance. Number three, always start booking early in the morning before 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So think of these principles as baselines that are going to guide your success. And in the future, if there's ever a monetary problem, we're going to come back to these principles, and I guarantee you one of these is not being done. So let's talk about them one by one. Principle one, which is always have 2 loads booked. Now, when you have a fixed follow-up, you're always ready for the next job, and you're going to keep up your consistency. Try to book the backhaul before you go somewhere, for example, to keep up your consistency. Now, what this is going to do, this is going to keep you from wasting your valuable HOS hours searching for loads at a truck stop. And you can spend less time scrambling for loads and more time on the road making money. When you're scheduling in advance, make sure you schedule about 2 hours plus drive time between each load, and this should give you enough of a buffer to make your appointments. But remember, guys, when you're booking in advance, problems will happen no matter what. And you may even have to call your broker to reschedule or even find another load. Now, the real question is, do you want to scramble once or twice a month when there's a little hiccup? Or do you want to scramble for a load every single day? And that's the real difference when you book in advance. Now, principle two is always start calling on loads 2 days in advance. Just remember, guys, that the good loads are going to be booked in advance and they go quickly. You need to be the first guy to be calling on that load to make sure you get it. And just in general, when you're planning ahead, it's crucial to stay organized and stay on top of it. With principle three, remember to always start booking early. You better start looking first thing in the morning, right when you wake up, hopefully before 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, this is because these brokers, when they get to the office, the first thing they do in the morning is they're putting out their loads from the night before. So you've got to get there early in the morning and you got to be on top of it in order to get good loads. And just remember, guys, when you're booking loads in the late morning or even the early afternoon, you're basically only left with the leftover loads. And if you're lucky, maybe an emergency load that someone canceled on. But it's much better to be ready and to do it from the beginning. Now, guys, we follow these three principles. How is this success going to look for us? So the first thing that you're going to see are steady paychecks. All right, when you get these consistent paychecks, that's really going to help you when you're trying to build up things like a maintenance fund, for example. Now, what kind of goal should you set? Your goal starting off should be $3,500 gross per week. Now, remember, this is just the beginning. You follow these baselines, you're going to get there. Much more is possible. And if you're curious, you can check out our weekly leaderboard where you can see how much our top performers are bringing in, so you can get an idea of what you can achieve with solo trucking. And guys, if you don't see your name at the top of the leaderboard right away, don't sweat it. There is a learning curve, and it might take some time to get everything down. Just remember, the solo team is here for you if you need any support along the way. So in review, we talked about 3 principles that are going to guide your success when you're self-dispatching, whether it's with solo or another company. Those 3 principles were, number 1, always have at least 2 loads booked. Number 2, always start calling on loads 2 days in advance. Number 3, always start booking early in the morning before 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you're curious and you want to find out more about solo trucking, feel free to call our recruitment line and speak with Frank. You can call that line at 815-821-6060. If you're already on with solo, feel free to contact us through the driver's line. Thank you very much for watching this video, and stay safe.